Hey everybody, yesterday I made a video talking about, among other topics, that being 26-year-old feels like you're being a little bit too late in life if you're still a student, as well as the feeling that I should be successful more early. And I got a few comments that are really insightful, as well as really interesting to read, and I just want to read them out and discuss them. This is what I was hoping for, so this is amazing. First of all, I appreciate the comment by GVB that says, glad you're back and good luck with your final internship. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's go to Enderboy's comment, because it's a really interesting one. Let's read it. Hey, it's Enderboy, by the way. I've missed you too. It's really cool to see that your motivations for making videos are healthy and admirable. A lot of creators just blindly chase fame with their content, but it's clear that you have a lot of genuine passion. The chasing the fame is definitely in there for me as well, still now, and I think that will always be there. Yeah, but besides that, I love making videos. I very much relate to the idea of feeling late to stuff. I've wanted to create content and animations for a while now, and this past year was so full of college stress that I got nothing done. That's just an assumption on my side, but if it was full of college stress, you got college done. So we're always so quick to sweep school under the rug, but school is a load of work. So if you got that done, well done, man. Just like, you can compliment yourself on that as well. That's good stuff. I turned 20 a couple months ago, and while that's still very young, yeah, it is. Then I do feel like I should have started getting stuff out there years ago. It sucks for sure, but it's also important to remember that age is a very arbitrary metric for success. It is. That's what I got in the reactions too. Oh, and the last line is, thanks for the video, and as someone who enjoys genuine content on the internet above anything else, I'm glad to see that you like making that kind of stuff. Appreciate that, man. Heartwarming. And to you, Enderboy, before I give you some insight, because I think I have some great advice for you, that in a bit, but I wanted to read Austin Blissa's comment first, because he gave me some great advice as well. So let's read it, and I think we can apply it to you as well, Enderboy. Austin says, I can definitely understand the feeling of being late with stuff. No worries, man. Everyone does things at their own pace, and there really isn't anyone keeping track of what you should have accomplished at what age. It might sound silly, right, to say it like that, there isn't anyone keeping track, but it's true. Like, you're the one keeping track. Just take it easy and be proud of the things you managed to achieve. This is so heartwarming. This is so wholesome. That's the fucking sweetest thing, man. I'm gonna see Austin today. I know him personally. I'll give him a big hug. Yeah, and I hope that gives you at least some clarity. I know it's not been hitting all the spots of your comment, Enderboy. It definitely did hit home for me, reading Austin's comment of like, oh yeah, there's not anyone keeping track. Sometimes you just forget about that. The thing that really interests me about Enderboy's comment is, I got nothing done. I feel like I should have started getting stuff out there years ago. It sucks. The part that I'm taking away from Enderboy's comment is he wanted to get stuff out there, but he didn't do it. And the problem was, the past year was so full of college stress. Well, I think if time is a problem, then the only way you can resolve it is by freeing up time. You'll eventually find yourself with more free time, and eventually there will be a moment where you will be able to create. Now, I want to give you some advice for what you can do whenever that moment frees up, what you can do to be more creative, get more things done, and what I've done to help myself create more things. So, first of all, what I've noticed, and this is a really, really cool life hack, I use this to write when I get stuck in my head, like a writer's block. Like, I try to write lyrics and it just doesn't come out. Switch up the way you use to create. Maybe different wording so you understand it better. Change the method that you use to create the thing that you make. So, for example, when I write my lyrics, what I would always do is I would open up a Google document. I would just stare at the page, I play a beat, and then the words would just come out fluently. Then, suddenly, I got a writer's block, and I, for the life of me, couldn't write anymore. Like, I had no idea what to write. Nothing showed up in my head. So what I did is I started making lists. Like, I think I remember making SNL, which was, the topic of that was work. I just started listing work-related expressions, I don't know, getting stuff done, and then I started rhyming with that. If I have the document, I'll show it on screen. It's a really cool one. Then after that, what I would do is I would take my laptop, and I would sit on my bed, and I would write on physical paper, which is already a different way than using the Google Docs. And recently I went fishing with my friends, and I brought my laptop and my paper. It's a different environment, it's different inspiration, and you really get different lyrics as well. So just switch it up. Switch up the way you're going about this. Now, specifically for you, if you want to create content or if you want to make animations, there is lots of animation styles that you can try. There is lots of programs you can animate with. I know that besides from Adobe Animate, which is an amazing program, you've got things like Krita. I think Krita is free as well. You can try that. You could try to animate on paper or with a flip book. And if you want to be a content creator, maybe just try filming or try I don't know, speaking into a microphone and just narrating something. There are tons of different ways that you can create, and maybe there's a better way that you can create than you are currently doing right now. And that would be my advice for you. Just give that a shot, because that could really free up a weird space in your brain where suddenly inspiration can flow. And when inspiration flows, creating is the most easy thing in the world. It's the inspiration that you gotta free up. That's what I've noticed. It's just that if you feel excited, if everything feels fresh, you can create for days, for weeks. It's easy. So try to find that sweet spot. That's what always works for me. Second advice, your problem doesn't seem to be one of knowing what to create. Your problem seems to be one of starting. Now, starting is a very interesting problem because starting something is a skill. I'll say it again and really take it in. Starting something is a skill. There is something about having something in your mind, and it's always in your mind. It doesn't matter if it's unfinished because you get the gist of it, right? Let's compare this to when you're watching a really cool, what inspires me is a video clip. If I look at a really cool video clip, let's say Stormzy's Vossybop. I can right now, in my head, picture Vossybop by Stormzy and be like, that's a cool clip. But I'm not picturing the clip start to finish, right? I'm not picturing the start, I'm just picturing like the cool parts. And it's the same way that you take imagination to real life and start creating. It's like you have an idea, but all you're picturing in your mind when you have an idea is the cool part of it. You're like, hey, that could be a sick idea. Hey, what if I write lyrics about this thing? Hey, what if I make an animation about that? But it's not in there start to finish. It's not like you just like drag a file from your head onto the screen and boom, that's it. No, you gotta like build around it a little bit. So like 9 out of 10 times if you get an idea, it doesn't include a start. It doesn't include like where does point A begin, where does point B end. Like somewhere in between those points is your idea. But you gotta fully flesh it out to make it an actual product. So 9 out of 10 times you just have to make a start that works for the idea. But you don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have to make it fantastically. It just has to be a carrier so that you can put your idea into it. So this is what my advice comes down to, is just start. And whenever you get an idea for something, or whenever you get the impulse to create something, just have a start. Then put your idea into it, then end it off, and then go back to see if the whole thing flows nicely. So for example, I have this problem as well when I write the first sentences. So I stopped writing first sentences. I just stopped. Like whenever I try to write lyrics right now, I just start. And the way I do it is like I just freestyle something completely random. I'll just put on a beat and I'll be like, hey, this sentence sounds cool. I'll just start writing. But it's never, like, I never intended for that line to be the start of my rap. And then I'll just be writing, and then I'll come up with something completely different. And I'm like, oh, let's write that down. So I have, like, I don't know, at this point, like 10 middle sections written down. And then I'll start compiling them and be like, oh, where do I place this? Where do I place this? So Something else you could also do if you have trouble starting is don't start, but begin with the middle. And I'm doing a bit of a play on words here, right? Because, of course, you're starting with the middle. But for some people, it's like, if the start isn't perfect, you can't do the whole project. Go to the middle. Go to the middle of your animation, maybe. I know a lot of animators are like, plan out your animation. It's the most important thing you can do. Maybe for you, the most important thing you can do is animate what you want to get out there first and then build the rest around it. And maybe it's not the best solid way to animate, but if it gets your product out there, if it gets your idea out there, hey, you've made something, right? And it's if you compare that, the fact that you've made something to nothing, then it's miles better, right? So just a bunch of advice for you, Enderboy. I hope it helps. I've been rambling a little bit, and I'm sure you can take at least something out of my ramblings. Alright, thank you for watching. Hope you liked this video, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.